All right, it looks like we're live. No one is here yet. Let's see if I can get this working. All right, one person's on. Who is it? You know, in our group, you guys do a lot of the talking, so I need you to comment a lot too so that I know you're there and I know what's going on. Hello, who's me? You say it's me. What is your name? I don't think it's Will, right? Or is this Will? Will just messaged me a minute ago. Owen. This is really weird. I've never done this before. And I'm not even sure who will be able to watch, so we'll see what this will look like. But I did want to do this because I wanted to be able to show you what Nepal looks like a little bit. So we'll kind of wait for a few minutes to see if anyone else shows up. Otherwise, I'll just give you a little bit of an update of what's happening around here. Is it really bad? Yeah, the internet is not great here, so I could see why that might be an issue. Is it? Okay. Well, yeah, it might be a little rough. The internet is not great. Yeah, we'll see if anyone else stops by to watch. Oh, did you disappear on me? My internet might be too bad to do this. So, if you're still watching, this is what it looks like outside the window of our apartment. Oh, okay, cool. Sounds good. So this is Nepal right here. This is what it looks like. There is a building across the way that you can kind of see there's like a doorway there where there should be stairs, but there aren't any. So that's interesting. There was an earthquake here 3 years ago, and so it might have happened then, but I'm not sure. There's just rubble down below. Let's see what else I can show. I messaged Jessica a second ago, but I'm not sure exactly where she's at. I asked her to text a few other people too, so we'll see who else can stop by. It's a little weird with YouTube Live because, you know, it's not like you're all coming to meet in the same place, so it's easy to forget. So we'll see who else we can get. I'll just show you the sights and sounds of Nepal for a moment. I actually haven't been out on this balcony yet. Yeah, right now it's early enough in the morning that all of the crazy driving hasn't started yet, so it's still pretty quiet. So it seems peaceful right now, but you wait till later and it'll get really chaotic on this street down below. There'll be so many motorcycles and cars going by. And of course, nobody follows like any lanes of the road, so it's kind of crazy. They just kind of weave around each other and make it work. And yeah, it's very interesting. They also drive on the left side of the road here, of course. Let's see, what else can I tell you? Right across the way, right in the middle of the screen right now, there's a sign that says serves as a coffee shop across the street. And then the apartment that we're staying in downstairs has a restaurant. So we have a restaurant downstairs. It's pretty good. They serve some Nepali food, some Japanese food. Okay. I think I saw that Ariana may have subscribed. So I was kind of hoping she would jump on, but I don't see her yet. I know I kind of keep showing you the same view. It's about all I can see from this window. It's just kind of cool to look at. And if I had better Wi-Fi, I would go up onto the roof because most of the buildings here, you can kind of see, all have... Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Show up when you can. All right, am I still live? Can you hear me? I kind of jumped to Facebook Messenger for a moment, so I want to make sure I'm back on. Looks like everything's right. Just messing with settings. What in the world? I'd only done one test before this, so I was kind of curious to see how this would work. Have you heard back from anyone else, from Nick or anyone? Yeah. All right, well, we won't go for a super long time then. We'll see if anyone else shows up for a little bit. We don't have to do a whole lot today. It's more of just kind of an update, see how you guys are doing. At this rate, if it was just us, we could have just done like a message call or something instead of this, but this works too, I guess. So yeah, you can kind of see how all the roofs are flat on top, so you can go on to most of the roofs. So if I was able to use data here, I would definitely go up on the roof and just show you around it. It's a really cool view of everywhere around. My channel banner for YouTube is a picture I took yesterday on top of one of the roofs, and it just shows so many buildings, and they're all... So yeah, it's pretty normal. Most things in Nepal are pretty close to the same. There's a TV on the wall. The kitchen is very similar, but they do things their own way here. So for instance, one example, let me switch over. There we go. So this is the stovetop. That's what it looks like. And then it's just connected right into the canister. So instead of hard-lined into the wall or into the building, it's just this canister here. I think that's pretty good advice. How old is she? I assume she's in high school, right? She's not old enough to be smoking. I think the issue partially there is it's almost sort of a legal thing too. So I don't know if it's necessarily your place to call her out in that way, but you know, I think it's fair for you to tell her that you're concerned as you have and keep walking with her. I found I've had a few friends that have made poor decisions in the past, and I think what really influenced them the most was that I remained a friend, and I didn't necessarily say I approved of what they were doing, so that, you listen to your friends most, the people that you know care about you. It's harder to listen to people that you don't know as well. So I think part of it is just, just what your grandpa said, remaining a friend, being with her. That way you'll kind of continue to have that influence in her life to keep telling her things. But yeah, you just have to be careful because sometimes people, when they're dealing with things, will kind of have to go through those battles for a while before they learn better. So that's not fun at all. But keep talking to her, keep doing whatever you can do. Don't be too hard on her all the time, but if you need to tell her exactly how you feel about it, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Just try to be loving in the way that you do it, and make sure she knows you care, type of thing. It's always a good way to do it. Oh, I'm really bad at this. I keep grabbing over the camera. Let's see. I'm trying to think if I have anything else to show you. Oh, here's something. Okay. Let me know when it's a little bit better. I'm back in the main room, so it should get a little bit better again. Is it any better, or is it still pretty bad? Let's see. Oh, you've missed all that? Oh, okay. Well, I think what your grandpa said is pretty good advice. It's, if you think about the people that you listen to the most advice that you take from people, it's the people you know care about you, the friends that are closest to you, and the family that's closest to you. So I think your grandpa, when you talk to her about that issue, I don't think there's any problem with talking to her about it, but just make sure that you're doing it lovingly, obviously, and also to be gentle sometimes. I think, you can care about someone so much that you tell them, stop, this is not good, stop it, stop it, stop it. But they won't always listen right away. So you sometimes have to be gentle, and also you have to recognize that sometimes people have to kind of deal with a battle before they'll give something up like that. So you have to understand it may not happen right away, which can hurt you as a friend. But I've had friends that have dealt with difficult things where one of the best things that seemed to help them was that I remained a friend, I remained close, and I didn't always bother them about it all the time. Okay. Is it bad again? That's too bad. Good? Yeah, so just keep sticking around. Don't always bring it up to her. Try to find times when you can just talk to her about other things. Don't always make it about that, but I think it's okay to continue to tell her that you don't approve of that, or that you wish she wouldn't. I think it's important for her to hear that as well. Yeah. Interesting. Well, I'm just sitting in one place now, so is the audio okay, or is it just the video? Or is it both, I mean? Because if you can at least hear what I'm saying, I'm not really doing much in the video. Ah, okay. Yeah, I was a little worried about that it would be a little rough, but all right, well, let's see, we're 15 minutes in. I don't want to use up all your data. I was hoping we'd get a few more people. I thought Jessica might join. I thought Ariana might join. I was hoping to get Nick. Oh, okay. Well, I can even message you more about it, what I just said, since apparently it's not being very good right now. Yeah, this... Oh, really? You mean for youth group? That'd be really cool if she could join. I thought it also looked like... Let's see, it looks like it's buffering. I don't know if it's working on your side. Let's see. Yeah, it's showing me that it's not working great on my end either. What? I don't even know what that means. There's someone yelling outside. I just saw that, yeah. All right, we'll wait a minute for her to jump in. Yeah, sorry if it's not the greatest. What? You saw a goat? That was a bus. That's the first big yellow bus I've seen. It looks like Jessica's here. Oh, no, it didn't. It actually was a person. He was yelling. There's some people who come by to offer services like picking up trash, and so they'll yell really loudly so you can hear from your rooms. It's really annoying, but it's interesting. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that should help. It looked like Jessica was here, but now she's gone again. So this is the start of my YouTube career. No? Still bad? What happened to Jessica? She was here just a second ago. I wish I could do more from the app. I'm just using my phone and I'm not sure. Oh, now there's a second person. Who is it? Who are you? Speak. Give your name. Let's see. Maybe it's some random person that found our live stream. Oh, that's good. Who is it? It might just be some random person. Or it might be Jessica, who's hiding and not coming. That is the thing, I did make it public so anyone could join us. Join us here in Nepal. Oh my goodness, I almost just dropped my phone. Well, we're 20 minutes in and we haven't gotten very far. Oh, okay. So it should be a little better. Let's see. Oh, I can look through the comments. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I would love for this to work a little bit better. If we could get a few more people in here, this would be kind of cool. But as of now, it's just, we could have just done something a little bit easier, I think. But, oh well, this is kind of fun. So we won't do like a whole lesson or anything, but I did want to encourage you with a verse that this trip was kind of reminding me of. I don't know. There's a second person watching, but I don't know if it's Jessica or not, or if it's some random person. It might be some random person because they keep coming in and out and not saying anything. We'll see. But let me read this verse we won't do a whole lesson or anything. I just want to read this verse. This verse kind of reminded me of what's happening here in Nepal, so I'll explain it in a second. Oh, yeah, yep. Yeah, because he does a lot of videos. It's true. Yeah, I don't really need all the subscribers. I just want you guys to be part of it. But okay, let me read this verse. It is, I'll show, let's see. It's 1 Corinthians 9:19 through 23. So I just have my Bible here, so I'm going to read it really quick. Although I am free from all and not anyone's slave, I have made myself a slave to everyone in order to win more people. To the Jews I became like a Jew to win Jews. To those under the law, like one under the law, though I myself am not under the law, to win those under the law. To those who are without the law, like one without the law, though I am not without God's law, but under the law of Christ, to win those without the law. To the weak I become weak in order to win the weak. I have become all things to all people, so that I may by every possible means save some. Now I do all this because of the gospel, so that I may share in the blessings. Okay, so that was a lot there. Just to break it down for a second. This is Paul talking in the New Testament, and he was a big missionary, as we've talked about before, so he would go around a bunch of different places, and one of the places he went to is a city called Corinth, and what we just read from 1 Corinthians is a letter to the Corinthians, the people of Corinth, and he had a lot of issues with them because they would argue a lot. Some would say, oh, they follow Paul, or they would follow a different missionary or a different leader of the Christian church, and so they would all kind of argue about different things. And the part of this passage is Paul is kind of defending himself because they would kind of accuse him of doing things he shouldn't be doing. Like some people thought that Paul should be still following the Jewish law perfectly, but he was kind of saying, you know what, for those that follow the law, when I spend time with them, I will also follow the law. Hey, Jessica, welcome. I'm glad you could join us. Welcome. Were you here before, or was it just some random person that joined us? We're up to 2 people. We've doubled. Good for us. Oh, okay. Okay. I see. Welcome. Welcome. Good job. You figured it out. So, Jessica, I think I've shown you outside, but I'll show... Yeah, I know. Technology's confusing. So here's what it looks like outside. Did I show you this view already, Jessica? I don't remember. Missed you too, Jessica. Let's see, am I live again? You're back. Am I back? Can you see me? It just said that I disconnected, so I think I'm back. I'm still kind of new to this. Yes. All right. I don't know if Will is still here. I think he is. Or yeah, you commented a second ago. Okay, so I just can't go on the balcony. That's too far away. Interesting. Okay, well, I just want to finish up with what I was saying. There we go. 1 Corinthians 9:19 through 23. I know that was kind of a weird passage that we just read, but basically Paul was just saying, for those that follow the Jewish law, when he'd spend time with them, he would follow the Jewish law with them. Just, he would recognize the value of the Jewish law. He had no problem with a lot of the things in it. But then when he'd spend time with the Gentiles who were not Jews, who didn't follow the Jewish law in that way, but still were Christians, he didn't really call them to follow the Jewish law. He was okay with the way that they were doing things as long as they were following Jesus and following all of Jesus' commandments. And so it kind of depended on where he was and who he was spending time with. Like it says, with those who are weak, I spend time with the weak. So, whoever he's spending time with is is kind of how he acts a little bit so that he can reach people where they're at. So I like that passage being in Nepal because a lot of what's very much related to that, the idea that when we spend time with people, I'm trying to learn their language a little bit. I'm trying to understand how they think. When I'm talking to people, I want to be respectful to them in the way that their culture demands respect. So yeah, it's an interesting experience, and I think it goes. Oh, yeah, yeah, you found my other one. Yeah, I made that way back in high school when I was really into juggling. Yep, I forgot I even had that channel. But yeah, I think that even goes, and I think we'll talk about this a little bit when I get back, but the idea that you don't have to go across the world to do missions. Like, I think even the people that you reach, like even Will, your friend that you were talking about. All right, I'm back in the main room. Yeah, Will was saying the same thing. I'm staying in the same place pretty much, so I'm not sure why it's giving me all these issues, but but yeah, we'll just say we'll talk about this more, but I think there's a value to looking at the things other people like to do, the way that other people think. Um, I'm staying in one place. I'm sitting in one place. If it can't handle that, I don't know. I'll stay really still. Did I make you think that it was just frozen? Because I was just sitting there. Um, See, this is so much better when you guys are commenting because you're just making me laugh. That's good. Yes, exactly. If I just stay still, nothing will happen. But also nothing will be happening because I'll be staying still. Well, we've already been going for a half hour. It does not feel that long. But yeah, I think when we're yes, yes, Jessica, you're hilarious. Yeah, I think when we're trying to reach people and tell them about Jesus, we can often start with what their interests are, what the way that they think, and you kind of reach people through the way that they think, the way that they live. Not that you live exactly how they do, but you know, it's it's a good strategy for getting to know people and making sure that uh, you understand them on their level and they understand you. It tried to autocorrect to humanoid? Oh, I know I'm humanoid, right? I get it. That's hilarious. So you've talked to her about the marijuana before, right? Or have you not talked to her at all about it? Briefly? Okay, so, um, yeah. Again, because it keeps buffering, I'll try to message you later with what I'm saying so that you get all of it, but uh, I think it's okay to talk to her about it. I don't have any issue with that. Just don't talk about it all the time uh, or be too harsh with her. You know, tell her exactly how you feel about it. It is an issue, so she needs to know that. I think it's good for her to have people in her life that are telling her, you know, this is not okay. Because I'm sure she has people in her life that are also telling her, oh yeah, go ahead and do that. That's no problem. Yeah, yeah. I remember you telling me that. Yeah, that's that is not the right way to get closer to your sibling. Jessica and I do just fine without smoking weed together. So, yeah, that's not an issue. She's coming to the stream or she's coming to YouTube? Or, I mean, to youth group. Is this awkward where you guys just have to watch me stare at us? Oh, really? Oh, that's hilarious. Well, if she wants to join us, she can. I don't really have a whole lot more to say, but I can show the sights again. Although every time I go over to the window, I lose internet, so there's that. Okay. Oh, you are? Oh, I didn't know that. I was kind of wondering where you'd be. I didn't want to pressure you to feel like you had to show up because I didn't know. Oh, really? That's hilarious. So this one-sided conversation sounds really weird, probably, because I'm talking about very random things. You're back. So what are you doing right now, Jessica? You're doing tech, but what are you doing exactly? Ah, yes. So not really anything then. You say she's watching, but there are only 2 people on. At least from my side, that's what it looks like. No, not really. Will, is your friend here? Diana, are you here? Hello? If so, I'm Luke. Nice to meet you. This is really awkward because I just have to wait for comments. Let's see. Right now it just says 2 people are watching. No? Okay. Well, cool. Awesome. This is going to be funny to see afterwards because it's just going to be a lot of pauses of me sitting here waiting for you guys to respond. And all these comments. This is fantastic. So I would like to try this again. It says I'm sending too many messages. YouTube is saying that? What does that even mean? Interesting. Oh, okay. So Jessica, whoa. Okay, I accidentally pressed on your comment, Jessica, and I found out that I can either report you, remove you, I can put you in timeout. Oh, this is fantastic. Okay, I just made you moderator. I don't even know what that means. Anyway, okay, so Diana, thank you for joining us. This is not how youth group usually works. This is very different. Right now, I am in, oh, you're here, hello. I see you. Yeah, this is very different. Right now, I'm on the other side of the world in Nepal. So normally we just meet as a group in person, but yep, I see your comment. Hello. Normally we meet in person, but right now we are just meeting over the internet because I'm on the other side of the world in Nepal, which I would go show you what it looks like outside, but every time I go to the window, the internet cuts out, so we'll see what happens. This is Nepal. Will is saying no. Does that mean the internet cut out again? Was that a bad choice? Am I still on? Good question. So, my dad is teaching a class, and it's a master level class, and he comes over here to teach a group of people who want to be pastors over here because, oh yes, Jessica's right. I'm eating good food. That's exactly what I'm doing. It's fantastic. I love it. I had a friend here who brought me around town yesterday, and he gave me some really spicy, really crazy food. I'll have to tell you guys about it sometime. It kind of was rough on my stomach, but it was very interesting food. Jessica, you would not have liked it. Yeah, no, we don't want that. That's a bad idea. Anyway, well, okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so I'm over here because my dad is teaching a class, and it's a class for people who want to be pastors. And in Nepal, there aren't many Christians. There are very few Christians. And the people who are on, or who are Christians here, a lot of them are newer Christians, younger Christians. So they're not used to studying the Bible. They're not used to having all the training they need to be pastor. So my dad comes over to train these pastors. Oh, we have someone else. Hello. This is exciting. We're up to 4 people. This is cool. So yeah, so we come over to teach and train these pastors so that they can go back to their churches and they can train all of the people. Oh, cool. Awesome. Welcome. I assume your name is Sam? That's what you're, ooh, new human. This is funny. Wow, you all are so judgmental. Who are you? This is ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, so my dad has to raise his own support to come because the school that he teaches at does not charge very much for the class. So my dad raises support to come, and so I do too, and I help him with the class. So I help with leading the discussion times. I help grade the papers. I'm basically the TA for the class. And I've done this one other time. I came over here 3 years ago, right when the earthquakes happened. So that was kind of crazy. I wish I could show you some of that stuff. Yes. Okay. I shall proceed to interrogate. Okay. What's your social security number? No. No, Jessica. Yes, Jessica, of course you're listening. This is fantastic. It's the last 3? Oh, okay, I see. Yes, I'm gonna need your social security number and mother's maiden name. I'm impressed we've lasted this long, 40 minutes in. I thought it would be really short. This is exciting. This is fantastic. Okay, let's see. So yeah, normally we meet for youth group and do, we will read a passage, we'll talk about a verse, and we'll play a game, and we'll eat food and all that, but obviously we're just doing this over the internet. So, what? Okay, you guys keep distracting me with these comments. What? I was late. Talk about some Jesus. Okay, I'll do that. Yes. You can obtain the card online. It's not that hard. Okay, thank you, Will, of course. I mean, I like Jesus and I like you, so I'm here. It changes my pigment? Yeah, I'm sorry. The internet is not great here. Will, you said you had to change down the resolution down to something lower, so you guys may have to do that just because the internet on my side is not great. It's okay, but it's not great. Well, since we have new people here, let's read the verse that we just were talking about. And I'm going to turn to it because I just closed my Bible. We're reading sort of a weird verse today. It may sound kind of weird, but I'll explain it again just because I'm showing this verse because it has to do with what I'm doing over here, because we're teaching the class, but we're also getting to know a lot of the people here. And the idea is for the pastors that are in this class, they go back home to different villages or different parts of the city that we're in, and they're reaching out to people around them and telling other people about Jesus. And it is amazing to hear their stories. There's one guy in the class named Titus, and he has, in the past, I don't know how long, but fairly recently, he has started 3 different churches in 3 different places. Oh, okay. All right, sounds good. What are you at? Are you still at practice or something, Will? Where are you at? Sorry, I keep cutting off what I'm saying because I'm distracted by comments. This is like the same thing as youth group. You guys always say something and then it distracts me. I don't... Oh, okay. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Very cool. Yeah, so we're going to read a passage in 1 Corinthians. And like we just talked about a little bit ago, the idea is, this passage is written by a guy named Paul, who was a missionary. He went around to different places way back. So this was right after Jesus had been on the earth. He had died and risen again and then gone back to heaven. And so there were a lot of Christians that were following Jesus, that now that he was gone, they now had the responsibility to tell everyone about what Jesus had done while he was on the earth. And what Jesus had done was so amazing that people's lives were being changed very quickly. It was kind of crazy. So Paul was one of these guys that was going to different cities and talking to people. And as he would share the good news with people about what Jesus had done, these people would start following Jesus, and they would start churches, and then these churches would grow, and these churches would be reaching out to all kinds of people. So it was growing very quickly. And with that, let's read this verse. So let me grab this. So just to show you, 1 Corinthians 9:19 through 23. So I have my Bible here. You probably won't be able to read it. It's really small font, but I'll read it for you guys, and we'll talk about it for a moment. So this is written by Paul. Although I'm free and not, or sorry, I'm not reading well because I'm reading through my phone and that's not working. Okay. Although I am free from all and not anyone's slave, I have made myself a slave to everyone in order to win more people. All right, I'll slow down for a second because Jessica says it's still loading. Okay, I'll pause for a second and wait for it to catch up. You see it? Okay. All right, I'll continue then. Although I am free from all and not anyone's slave, I have made myself a slave to everyone in order to win more people. To the Jews, I become like a Jew to win Jews. To those under the law, like one under the law, though I myself am not under the law, to win those under the law. To those who are without the law, like one without the law, though I am not without God's law, but under the law of Christ, to win those without the law. To the weak, I become weak in order to win the weak. I'm not moving erratically. I'm staying very still. I'm doing my best, okay? To the weak, I become weak in order to win the weak. I have become all things to all people, so that I may by every possible means, save some. Now I do all this because of the gospel, so that I may share in the blessings. Okay, so I'll stop focusing on that small text that's hard to read. I'll explain it for a moment because it gets really confusing in the middle. Basically what's happening is Paul is writing a letter to a church in the city of Corinth, which was a city of that time. And this city, the church in this city was having a lot of problems. They were arguing a lot. They were getting into these conflicts with each other where some would say, oh, I follow Paul, who's the one writing this, and others would say, oh, I follow a different Christian leader. So all these arguments were breaking out. And so Paul was trying to fix a lot of these issues. And in this letter, he kind of told them they need to get their act together. They need to start acting like Christians and be united, be together, be loving one another. But also in this passage, he kind of defends himself because they were even kind of accusing him of not following the law correctly or doing things that he shouldn't be doing. So here he's explaining how he tells people about Jesus. He's explaining that when he is working with Jewish people, who at that time the Jews would follow the Jewish law, which is what we see in the Old Testament. All the laws that you read about, that's the Jewish law. So they had a lot of very specific rules they had to follow. So when Paul was with, oh no, I'm so sorry. We went into a different room? I thought you were getting in your car. All right, anyway, I'm going to keep going. Sorry. Will, I think you heard part of this already anyway. But yeah, so he was sort of defending himself and explaining, when I'm with people who follow the law, I will also be with them, and I will do what they're doing. You know, I will be okay with them following the law. That's okay. I'll follow some of those laws with them and all of that. But then when he spends time with Gentiles who are people who are not Jewish, that basically Gentiles just means the nations. So literally, this was written mainly for Jews and by Jews at the time when the Bible was written. So when they mention Gentiles, all they're saying is all the other surrounding nations, all the other people. So when he's spending time with Gentiles, when he's spending time with non-Jews, he's okay with them not following the old Jewish law. So then it says, to the weak I become weak in order to win the weak. And he kind of gives this whole list of different ways that is sort of his strategy for when he reaches out to people. So when he was being accused of kind of doing all these different things, he's just sort of explaining, when I spend time with different people, I get to know them where they're at. I want to know how they live. I'll spend time with them. Now, if they're doing something that is against the Bible, is disobeying God, you know, he's not going to go and do those things too. But other things, you know, that aren't against the Bible, he's okay with kind of following their way of life, their customs, the way that they work, so that he can better relate with them. And so that's kind of the main point of all of this, why I wanted to read this verse, was being in Nepal, I've kind of learned that a little bit, in that when I'm spending time with people, that's really cool. That's super cool. I like that. That's really cool. Thanks for sharing that, Will. But yeah, being in Nepal, it's important to me that while I'm here, I'm trying to understand the people I'm with. So I'm going to try to know a little bit of their language. Like, I'm trying to learn a little bit of their language. I'll teach you guys a few words in Nepali, Nepalese, however you want to say that, Nepali. So one that you've probably heard before is to say hello, you say namaste. You guys have probably heard that before. That's also used in India and probably a few other little places too, but namaste, that's what you can say for hello. And then I find myself saying, let's see, what's another good one? Oh, here's a good one. Oh, yeah, it seems like that, yeah, but that is part of a language. So the Hindi language, which is what's spoken in India, where a lot of that yoga and other things originate, I think. Yeah, that is actually part of the language. All right, I think I'm back. The internet is not terrible here, but every once in a while it'll just kind of cut out a little bit. All right, so I'm back. What was I even saying? Oh yeah, another good word you can learn is here when you're talking to people, especially, well, you can use it for people you know, people you don't know, but you call people like brother and sister, so you kind of use family terms. So for instance, Jessica is actually my sister, one of the people commenting on here, for those of you that don't know. Jessica is my younger sister, and so I would call her Bahini, which means younger sister. But if she were my older sister, I would call her Didi. And so if someone's older than you and you'd call them sister, then you would say Didi or Bahini. But then for brother, it's either Bai or Dai. So Dai is older brother and Bai is younger brother. So depending on whether they're older than you or younger than you, or whether they're a guy or girl. Wait, what? No way. Yeah, so that one's kind of interesting. So a lot of the people here, Bahini with an N. Bahini. So you're my Bahini and I'm your, which one would it be? Dai. Buyer? Yeah. No, it's, how would you spell it? I think like B-A-I or, yeah, Jessica, that's right. Or D-A-I. So yeah, it sounds like die, like D-I-E, but it's, yeah. So that's kind of weird. But because a lot of the people still do speak English here, they'll just call me brother, and I'll call them brother. So yeah. This is fantastic. So yeah, there's a few words. But yeah, when I'm over here, I'm going to try to eat the food that they give me. I'm going to try to learn a little bit of their language. I try to be respectful however I can. Even though I definitely do not fit in, like I'm white and most people here are definitely not white, that makes me stand out. I'm still going to do everything I can to relate to them in their own culture as much as I can. So that's kind of a cool thing here, but also a good lesson for us is that we can be doing that even just with people we get to know. So get to know people by getting to know what they like, how they think, the things that they've grown up with. That's often a good way to relate to people. So that's something for us as Christians that when we talk about Jesus, it's a good thing for us to get to know the people that we're talking about. We don't just run up to people and say, hey, know Jesus. Obviously we want to get to know the people that we're talking to. All right, I see a bunch of comments. I'm done with my little rant. Speaking of which, I'm building a skateboard for my brother in carpentry. That's super cool. I would love to figure out how to build a skateboard. I'm impressed. Are you getting actual like trucks, or are you getting another kind of wheels, or how are you building it? Sam, how many languages do they speak? Main language is Nepali, Nepali. But I think there's another one. It's like Nahani or something like that. I forget exactly how to say it, but it's another language. Another thing to know is that it's right in between. Nepal is right in between India to the south and China to the north. Oh, is it rough again? Is it bad? I do? What? Oh. Okay. Sorry. I'm just catching up with what the comments. Am I back? Or is it still buffering really bad? These comments are out of control. Okay, I'm going to assume it's better because I don't know. Yeah, so a few other smaller languages, and it's influenced by China to the north and India to the south. But yeah, they mostly just use their own language. And the main two languages are Nepali and English. A lot of people do speak English here, and most of the signs also have English on them. It's not just all Nepali. Have I learned any slang? I don't think so, no. I've just learned some really basic phrases. Like the calling people brother or sister, that's not slang, that's just the way they talk, but you could almost call it that because it's not literally brother and sister, it's just kind of what you call people, so I guess that could kind of count. Let's see. Just the deck and tape. Oh, okay, cool. That's cool. Yeah, I want to see this. You need to send me a picture once your skateboard is done. I love carpentry stuff. Definitely send that. Jessica's telling me I still have to build her table. Yes, you're right. Unfortunately, I'm in Nepal, so I can't right now. I'm sorry. I'm not moving that much. Everyone's back. Okay, good. So have you had any casual conversation with any locals? So the people that are in the church and the school, so the school that's meeting, the master's school that my dad is teaching at is also, yeah, exactly. No, I'm just in Nepal, I'm sorry. But yeah, the church, the school that my dad is teaching at and that I'm helping him at is also a church. So I know some of the people in the church and in the school. So I've had conversations with them, and when I'm talking to people, I try to use as many Nepali words as I've learned. Here's another good word. This is the one. Oh, okay, Jessica. Yes, you do your thing, Jessica. In case people are wondering what's happening, Jessica's actually kind of working at the theater right now, doing some of the tech stuff. So go, Jessica, do your thing. But yeah, Another good word is dhanyavad. That means thank you. So I try to use that one all the time when people are serving us food or when people are doing things for us. It's really fun to say dhanyavad because I think it sort of surprises them that I say that instead of thank you. Yeah. Well, I don't really have anything else. That's all I wanted to talk about. Yeah, I do need to learn like how do you say this so that people will tell me more, but there are enough English speakers here that I'll just ask them, well, how do I say this word in Nepali, and they'll tell me. I've learned a bunch of other words, but I forget them from time to time, so I have to kind of relearn them. I've learned the phrase for I'm sorry, but I'm trying to remember. I don't remember exactly how to say that one right now. ¿Cómo estás? It was almost Spanish. It was a good try. Yeah, how do you... Oh, here's one. Bienvenidos. Oh, okay, yeah. What is it? I learned it yesterday. I just had it. I don't know. There's a phrase, and I'm trying to remember what it is right now, but it's basically like, how are you? Or how's it going? It's like a really basic phrase, just say, what's up? How's it going? How are you doing? Type of thing. So there's that as well. You've never taken any Spanish? Have you taken any foreign language yet? You need to do that eventually. Yeah, I can tell. No, it wasn't too bad. ¿Cómo estás? All right, shalom. Okay, well, I need to get going. It was very fun having you all. I appreciate you all joining in. This is a very weird way to do youth group, but I kind of like it, except for the fact that it's just a video of me talking for a long time. We're at nearly an hour, so that's kind of crazy. Nice to meet you too. I'm glad you guys could join. I hope to see you all in youth group sometime. That'd be fun. Miss you too, Jessica. Love you too. I don't know if the internet will allow, but I'll show you one last view outside. This is what it looks like. All right. Anyway, am I buffering now because I walked over to the window? I don't know if Will is saying no because we're ending or because I walked over to the window and it's buffering. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you guys. I'll see you. I'll be gone through next week as well. So I'll be back after Mother's Day. So I still won't see you guys for a while. If you guys like this, maybe we'll do this again next Wednesday. I think it worked out okay, so maybe we'll try that again. I'll see you all later. And I can't text, but for those of you who have me on Facebook, you can message me whenever because I have Wi-Fi here. So yeah, let's try to go for next Wednesday, and we'll see who's available. And if we have people that want to do it, we'll do it again next Wednesday the same way. All right, see you guys.